It's the next day, and this morning Christoph just got done getting the chopper ready. He just headed out. We were doing a bunch of other stuff, and I got one more thing to do. I guess I didn't show it yesterday, but letting the box down, it didn't want to come down very fast. You had to hold the hydraulics just in the right spot, and that's because one of the Pioneer fittings, the tip of them, the tip right here, they start to wear off, and we kind of like the round ones more. That's what the other one is. Those ones don't do this, and once they wear down enough, it doesn't open it enough, and it gives you issues. We've had it on other implements before, so I gotta go get a new Pioneer fitting with the round end, and it'll be good. And should be able to go. Now the reason this is pulling dump wagon yesterday is because we're low on tractors, and my dad has the 200. He wants that for the dump cart, and the John Deere's broken. And then you're like, well, why don't you use my tractor? Well, that's because I guess I never showed it, but that was actually up in Canada up until this morning. And yes, it went back to Canada after it had the engine work done to it. And that was because when it initially went up in April, the first week of April, that was because there was oil in the antifreeze. And then we got it back, and they said, they were honest, and they were like, we truly didn't find like a huge issue. They did do the head gasket, and they sent the head out, it was good, and they did the oil cooler. And they literally said, they're like, we really didn't find nothing huge that was wrong with it. I was doing it, but they couldn't find anything else. So we got it back, and we ran it for a little bit, 2 weeks I think we used it. We did it a little bit for the planning, a day or two, I can't remember anymore. And then I pulled manure tank with it for like 3-4 days, and then on one of the days, all of a sudden it overheating again, and I checked, and it was down 4 gallons on antifreeze all of a sudden on me. And we drained the motor oil, but there wasn't like, there was a little bit extra in the motor oil, but not 4 gallons worth. And so we were kind of confused, and then I was running it, and I saw the blow-by was literally just shooting straight water out of the blow-by pipe. So then I was like, well, there's definitely something wrong with it. So we sent it back up there, and they honestly had it since it's been there for over a month. I can't remember when we sent it the second time, but we drove it up there, and they looked at it, and they pulled the engine out because they had to do a crankshaft seal anyways. The back one was leaking. So, and then they said the oil pan, it wasn't bad, but it was leaking a little bit, and because they were pulling it because of the crankshaft seal, and because they were gonna do a full engine job on it, because initially we thought it was the rings then, and everything. So they were gonna do the crankshaft seal, so they pulled it right away. But then they were looking at it, they were like, they didn't see a lot bad, and then they pressurized it because they didn't see a lot bad the first time. So before they really ripped it apart, they pressurized the whole system again out of the frame, and they found out that the water pump, there's a seat valve on like all water pumps, and when they go bad, they seep the water out. This one got plugged with dirt. Never had that happen before, and dirt and crap, and the seat valve didn't work anymore, and it was forcing the pressure back into the oil, because the second time it went up, it wasn't putting in the coolant, it was putting water in the oil, so it was forcing water into the engine, and that was because the water pump was doing it. It was bad. The chances of that happening is slim to none, but with our luck, that happened. So, in the end of all this BS, starting with the thermostat sticking shut on me, the water pump was bad. So yeah, that was substantially, I mean, it wasn't as big of a bill of a whole engine job, but yeah, it's not the cheapest thing in the world of a water pump to blow, because we've had to do a couple water pumps before on the little 84, and we're pretty sure we did one on that one 2 years ago. So that's why we told them, we're like, yeah, we did the water pump like 2 years ago on it. So that's why they didn't think it was a water pump bad, but you also wouldn't think the seat valve's plugged. So yes, all that engine problem right there was because of the water pump. Seat valve not working correctly. I just changed this, got that put on. So these are the round ones, And we like these more because they don't wear out like the other ones, because it's a ball, so it always spins a little bit. It's always a fresh spot for the most part. And if it's not this, we have in the past, if these couplers get old enough, it's kind of the same deal on the inside of here. It's just a little finger kind of thing, and if that wears off enough, that's not pushing enough. We have had it be that before too, but the Pioneer fitting looked like there's a little wore, and I'll change that first because it's easier and cheaper. So we're gonna try it out. I lifted it up, lifted about a foot up. Now look at that. So that was the problem. So if anyone else is ever having hydraulic fitting problems, a lot of times it's that. It's not the first time that style coupler has given us issues with implements. And the first couple times it was a real pain to figure out because we thought something was wrong with the tractor or valves were sticking on the implements. But when I had it start happening yesterday to me, I popped those hoses off and figured it was that right away. So Christoph's already chopped and he's waiting for the second dump wagon. We're gonna get going. But you can see Alex was up here with the trailer. She got stuck right here. So that's why they're staying down there. But it's soft. The chopper's making track marks. It's clawing. And then you got Marcus fully loaded right next to him, just floating along. So this tractor is geared extremely slow. It only does 18 miles an hour. And you can, if you have the transmission apart, change one gear out and it increases the whole gear speed ratio. And it goes a lot faster. It does like 24 down the road, so it does a normal speed for a tractor, but we just never got around to doing that. There was one time where we were in the transmission, we could have and we should have, but we didn't. The GoPro deals with the dirtier windows a lot better than my phone, because on my phone it looks horrible how dirty it is, but on the GoPro it's not even that bad. Or it's because I'm looking at a little screen and I can barely see anything. My mom just came, she brought lunch, so she went and got Gerhard and Ferdy from top of the King Road. They're at Doe's mowing and raking, so we just all had lunch. So we're a little backed up right now. Give Stan a minute on the bunk anyways to catch up. We got 2 dumps into Alex. So with the big trailer, it's an easy 2 full dump wagons. With this one, 2 dump wagons fits, yes, but he on the back like quarter of the dump wagon on one of them, he'll fill a lot less. That way where it overlaps on that trailer, it actually, you can get the whole load in for both dump wagons. So the big one is a little nicer. You can easily get 2 full dump wagons in. But that's on the other truck right now. Hydraulics are working a lot better today. It's a lot faster and I don't have to hold it in a certain spot just to get it to work. Well, I haven't recorded for a while, but they kept chopping because I had to go move the excavator for my dad. He was done his one project, so I had to leave the dump wagon, and I had to unhook the Ferdy's truck and put it on the low boy, and then I had to haul the Volvo back up here, and he's back to separating dirt and stones. So they were just running the one dump wagon, and then Keith got done feeding. He's in the Freightliner behind me right there. And Alex is driving her trailer, and Philip got back into pushing after Stan has to go do his chores. It worked out. So we're going behind Tyler's house here. Corn's looking pretty good. This is picking corn, snaplage. So it's a little shorter because we plant corn that doesn't get as tall that we do snaplage on, because we don't want crazy tall corn stalks for snaplage. Otherwise it's a pain to get them to feed through the head. I'm gonna give Christoph the camera here. Maybe he can record a little bit.
Alright, so we got Marcus running dump wagon. He's actually running both right now. He's been swapping back and forth on dump wagons, so we can keep both going until Andreas comes back. He was running the other one, but he's been leaving off and on for little stupid shit, but shit has to get done too, so Marcus has been busy. It's too wet for trucks. It'd be nice if we could run them, but there's just no way in hell. And we got a set of floaters off Alex's because we had it inspected. You can't inspect them with floaters. So we took them off, and we hadn't had time to put them back on. It just got inspected yesterday. Alright, we're almost done this field, and after this field I'm going to sharpen the chopper up. I'll probably do a lot better again. Show you the dump wagon. I only filled the back half on this one, and on the other dump wagon I only filled the front end because Alex's trailer is almost just a little too short to have two big full loads. So I make 2 3/4 loads, and that way we can dump 2 loads in there. That way they fit. So she's dumping in the back of the box, and then this dump wagon is going to dump it in the front. That way both loads fit. Marcus is still by himself. Just Alex, she is dumping her own load, and then Marcus is going to pull up and dump that one. And then we'll keep chopping. But I think they're supposed to all come back in a couple minutes, so once I get it sharpened up, we should be all good to go after the afternoon.
This thing's a lot nicer.
That is full. She is full. Alright, we'll drop the last load in this field, and then we'll get her sharpened up. Alright, okay, so we are all back on track. I got the chopper sharpened up. We got 30 back. 30's running the truck now because he's done mowing. Hopefully we have a few good hours and we'll get most of those all chopped. Probably will be a little late one, but it's supposed to rain the next couple days, and we'll at least get those done. Tell it's wet, there's water in the field still. So, all dump wagon. This is one of the wetter ones, hopefully. We're not making many rocks, they're just water. Too wet for trucks. I probably should have shot the knives after this field because how nasty it is. It's too late now for that, but I'm just gonna lift it up and not chop the mud in here. Ferdy's leaving with a load, and I saw the front tire on the dump wagon wiggling a little bit, so I think there might be a nut. It looks like a nut loose on the tire rod, and he might have to go. I don't know if he can fix it, or we'll see.
Tire rod is stripping out.
Oh, it's stripping out, so we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I'm gonna have him weld the nut on it and call it good for today and fix it correctly. Alright, he's heading. He's gonna go home and weld it real quick. Make more sense to weld it before.
Wish that sideboard was on that right liner.
There's about a half a load right there. We'll chop it back in the dump wagon when we're done with this field. Keithy, that might be his last load for today. We'll see. They gotta stay high up there, right on the edge of the field. That's where the dryers is. We'll see if he. Oh, he's gonna make. Alright, so we've been chopping for a little while, and the second dump wagon has not came back yet. Actually, it's been like 2 hours. We're sort of past that it's not back yet. I'm hoping it's coming back soon. So we've been flying with this one. 10 miles an hour chopping. It's actually pretty good feed too. Oh, slowing it down now. So I waited 10 more minutes after I complained about it, and he finally showed up. So we've got both dump wagons left, and we got probably another 40 maybe 45 acres left to chop, and it's what time is it? It is 7 o'clock, so it won't be too bad. He's almost here. We'll get her going again. Looks like he's not smiling either. Oh, he's smiling.
Chopping along here. We're right behind the camp right there. We're in fourth gear, second with the shuttle. We're cruising. But this tractor's geared low, like I said earlier, but still giving about 1,800 RPMs. Dumping into Ferdy here. Take one more from Marcus in the front and it'll be good to go. so you know, I won the game of not turning your lights on. We never got around this morning to figuring it out or even seeing what's wrong with it. We were so busy with other stuff. So, oh, I'm full. We were so busy, just didn't get to it. Yep. That's about how black it is for me. Jeez Louise. Well, I can actually see a little bit, but the camera can't see anything. Well, I got a little bit of good news. You see that? That's my high beam switch. I got bored sitting in the dark, so I started flicking the high beam switch. I think I hit it about 20-30 times, and magically I got it to stay on. And I can't let go because it won't go back on again, so.
Really, do you think Alex is coming back? What'll happen?
There's Marcus still going.
Yeah, but I know his truck is parked right for the second. I just want to know that way I can fill it full and all.
Well, I accidentally slipped on the high beam switch, and I just can't get them turned back on right now, so it is what it is. Right there is actually my dad. He's still all in this dirt. It's 9:30 at night. But I think he's calling it quits for the night. He just got done excavating. All done for the night. They're putting the last load in the other dump wagon. And I parked this up here at the dough barn because I got no lights. But thanks for watching. Till the next one.